Alright dads, here's the weekend mission. 2 useful projects, 1 busted up pallet, and barely enough time between mowing the lawn and grill duty. Let's see what we can build with just a handful of tools and 0 excuses. Did you know you can create amazing projects with just a weekend's work? I didn't. At least it's not common. And anytime I think I have an easy project ahead of me, something always goes wrong. But let me show you what we're building today. To start, you're going to need to get yourself a pallet. So go find yourself a pallet. Whatever you gotta do, check Facebook Marketplace, go behind dumpsters, don't steal. Definitely ask if it's good for you, if you can take it. But find yourself a pallet. And I say a pallet because I wanted that rustic look. I want these holes. I want this rough cedar kind of look, right? If you run it through the planer or you buy some fresh wood, it's not gonna have the same effect. Looks nice, doesn't it? Right? So I got lucky with this as well. And the good thing about this project is that you only need your boards about 6 inches in length just to cover the numbers, right? So you don't have to worry about getting a crowbar or hammer or anything and trying to break it up. Because when you do, sometimes you don't get lucky. And this happens. So, like me, I got to take the easy way out. Just get my circle saw and cut these through. Although I did kind of get lucky with this piece here. You know, I got almost that whole piece before it broke. So then I just cut off the broken half. Alright, got yourself a pallet? Good. Now it's time to break it down. And these pieces are about 3 3/8 in width. I wish they were a little bit wider, like 3.5, but they'll do. So we don't have to rip them. All we gotta do is cut them in length. Like I said, I'm gonna make that 6 inches. So with my tape, I'm gonna pull in 6 inches and mark my line. We're gonna cut that with a new table saw sled. So I'll meet you there. Okay, nice and tight. Here we go. We're gonna make this nice and repeatable because you got your little stop block here, so now I don't have to measure each time. Now you need to get yourself some 1x2. So go ahead and go in that scrap pile and see what you got. If you don't have enough, just go to the store, get you an 8-foot board, because what you don't use in this project, you can use on the next project. For a top and bottom, you're going to want to go ahead and get 2 pieces cut to about 15 inches in length. And 2 side pieces, you're going to want to go ahead and get about 7 1/4. So then mark your edges so you can get your miter. Flip that over. Just like that. Then with your lines marked, head back over to the table saw. You're going to want to head and cut those ends off. Now you could just measure properly and do the miter, but I'm not so good at all that, measuring from the inside and all that good stuff. So like I said, that's why I just did the 90, and then I'm just going to go corner to corner, cut that miter off that way. And do that for all 4 pieces, your top, your bottom, and your 2 sides. Then back to my preferred cutting method, the table saw. Because I love this freaking jig I just made. I'm so happy we made this sled. Anyway, got it set to 45 so I can run these through with their miters here. The only bad thing is I gotta blow this debris out every time. There we go. A little bit of paste wax and we're good to go. Why didn't I do this earlier? And after you get your miters cut, you're gonna want to make some rabbets in here. So go ahead and start lowering your blade down. I'm gonna go about 1/8 and see how that looks. When doing your rabbets, make sure you check the thickness of your piece that's going to go inside, because you don't want it. You want it big enough for your wood to fit in. You don't want it loosey goosey and slopping all over the place, but you don't want it too tight where you got to beat your wood just to get it in. I mean, unless you're into that kind of thing, and you want to beat your wood, I'll leave you two alone. So anyway, back to the table saw. Got my fence set, got everything lined up, so we're going to go ahead and run this through. Then just do this a bunch of times till all 4 pieces match. Go ahead and dry fit everything. Make sure everything fits nice and tight. I couldn't get a good angle on camera. I had to hold it in place. Not everything was staying. But like I said, make sure everything fits nice and tight, because next step, all you gotta do is paint that bad boy black. It's gonna look real good. Why is sped up painting footage so dang satisfying? And that contrast, black frame, light wood, it's cleaner than my shop's ever been. You feeling it, or am I just inhaling too much stain again? Alright guys, almost done. All you need to do is get you some glue. I'm gonna use this Titebond 3 waterproof exterior interior because this thing's gonna be outside, right? And I don't want it to get ruined. And get yourself your nail gun. Check, make sure you got nails. And I do. Lock and load. Putting this thing together felt like wrestling an octopus made of bowed lumber. No clamps, no help, just me and my bad decisions. Next time, I'll clamp it. Maybe. Alright guys, last few steps. So I got these little numbers from Amazon, so I'll put the link down below so you guys can check it out if you like it. But all you gotta do is get the screw and put it in here, thread it through. And then the instructions say to drill a hole in your wood, and you got these little anchors that it's supposed to go into as well. So you drill a hole, put it through, and it goes into the anchor, which I think that's for like drywall or something. I don't know about this whole concept here. I think what I'm gonna do is put it through, and then I'm gonna have to find some nuts or something to put on the back of that once it goes through. But that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna drill some holes and line this up. But the cool thing about these, oh yeah, that's what I want to show you. So the cool thing about these is it comes with a little template. So you just put that down where you want it, and that looks pretty good to me. And then I'm just gonna drill the holes here. Let me show you. All right, I tested out, and the, what was that? The 9/64 drill bit was the best fit for this. It was just tight enough to where I had to force it through, and it locked in place, because when I did 5/32, it was just a little too loose. It went in nice and easy. Like I said. Alright, so we've got the, we're going to put this where we want it. I don't know why I'm holding that. Alright, that looks good there. Just keep drilling, holes in wood, it's kinda thrilling. Don't strip the bit, don't miss the mark, and hope this drill don't shoot a spark. That's it, the sign's done, and I didn't even lose a finger. So what do you think? Could you build one of these? Or are you just here for the sawdust therapy? Alright guys, I hope you were able to save enough wood from your first pallet, because guess what? This next project, we're going to be using it again. Alright guys, I got some good news and I got some bad news. Bad news, you need to break this board down and salvage as much wood as possible. So we can't take the easy way and just cut them. So we're going to have to get some good old-fashioned manual labor and try to take these apart. Good news, at least you don't have to go inside and help the wife clean. You can just stay outside and keep building. Don't you wish it was always this fast? Alright, so now that I got it all broken down, I have a few options. One, I could keep it with the rustic look and with the holes and rough or whatever. I could sand it down and make it nice smooth, or I could run it through the planer, which is a lot less work. And since this is going to be a little basket for the kids' toys or blankets or something, I don't want any splinters sticking out. So what we're going to do, we're going to run it through the planer. And I don't know if you've ever used a planer before, but I'm telling you, it is just so satisfying when it comes out all nice and smooth compared to looking like that. And before we move on, please do me a favor, give this video a like, thumbs up, whatever you call it. It really helps support this channel. Alright, so now we got them all planed out. Next thing we gotta do is get them cut. And we're gonna go use, that's right, you guessed it, the table saw. Follow me. Alright, so we need to start with the front and the back, because they're going to be the same length. And we're going to get these 16 inches in length. And we're going to need a total of 5 pieces. So I'm going to get my table saw set up here. Get me a little stop block. That way all these pieces will match. We'll be ready to roll. I ended with a total of 12 pieces. So now I'm going to pick through and see which is my favorite. And we're going to need 10 of these pieces that are 12 inches in length for the 2 sides. And then we're going to need another 5 for the bottom, because they're also going to be 12 inches in length. So, because I'm going to run them this way. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get those cut, and I'll meet you back here. Now, when it came to the width of these, I wasn't sure how wide I wanted them. I was thinking I wanted them kind of thinner, but then I wanted them thicker. So I don't know. I took a couple scrap pieces and I started out with 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches, and 2 inches. And I like the 2 inches the best. Plus, it makes the math easier. And that's our next step. What we need to do is get these ripped down to 2 inches in length. So all these boards, every single piece, we need to get them ripped down to 2 inches in width. And I'm going to go ahead and use my table saw. I'm going to use my micro jig table saw sled I made. If you guys seen that, my last video I made, I'm so happy I'm using it in everything now. But anyways, get yourself something set up where you can repeat those 2 inches, because I can't just use my table saw fence. These edges aren't very great, and I don't want to make them 100% straight because we're going for that rustic appeal. And that, my friends, is a beautiful piece of wood. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, now we got to assemble this thing. Man, I was on such a roll when I was ripping these all down. Why didn't you guys stop me? I don't need 15 pieces like this. I only need 10, 5 on each side, because the other 5 that were 12 inches are supposed to be for the bottom, and I was going to leave them at 3.5. But now I ripped them all down. But luckily, we got some more here, so what we're going to do is cut these down again. And after you get those cut, go ahead and dig in your scrap pile. Find you about 4 of them 12-inch cutoffs, because you're going to need those for some support on the inside of your box. I like that one. I like them reddish looking colors. Alright, so when it comes to assembling these things, the best thing I like to do is just lay them out, and we're going to start with the front and the back sides, which is the wider, the 16-inch length ones. So lay them out, get your 5 pieces, and try to get them spaced out. Use one of your scraps for a spacer, and do whatever you can to get these squared up. Then, what you're going to do, get yourself some of your favorite wood glue. I'm going to glue it and nail it. Honestly, nailing it would probably be just enough, but I'm going to glue it just because. We're going to add a little bit of glue. Get your cut off. Put it up there. Get nice and square. Right? Get those. And then we're going to tack them in. Alright, time to build the first side of this rustic beast. I started by gluing the horizontal slats to the vertical supports. And yep, I fought the urge to nail it from the outside. It's much easier to hit it straight from the inside, and it just looks better in the end. Trust me, your future self will thank you. I'm using a brad nailer here because, well, I like my fingers. And this pallet wood may be rough, but it's got character, just like every good crate should. And that was the easy part. Now we gotta try to put the walls together and make sure everything lines up, right? So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue here. I got a couple of these little square things stacked up here to try to give me a nice little 90 right here. And then we're gonna tack it in. Once you get your first one started, just get your next piece, use it as a spacer, and then get your third piece, and you get everything lined up there. Just put a little bit of glue on it and tack it in. And once you get your box kind of starting to form, you got a couple walls, it's a lot easier. But working with glue vertically is a lot more challenging than you think. You got to be quick. So put a little bit of glue on here, all in between, and then quickly try to match these all up and then tack it in. Like I said, be quick. And now for the easy part. All you gotta do is line them up, put them in place, get your glue, slather some glue on it, run it down like a line. Then, one by one, put them up on your box and tack them in. Pop, 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 pop. Now flip it over and do the same thing with the bottom. A little bit of glue and some nails. Pop, pop, pop. Wow, I think that is just spectacular. I think it came out amazing. What do you guys think? Not bad for an easy project, huh? Knock them out in the weekend. Man, I'm so happy I got both of these done. Super awesome to get 2 projects done in a weekend. Plus, the house has been needing the numbers, and that basket just helps kind of clean things up. If you're tired of watching endless build videos that require a $10,000 shop and 2 weeks off of work, hit that subscribe button, because around here we build fast, we build smart, and we build between diaper changes and driveway Nerf gun battles. See you in the next one.